Briton accused of going after Chiang Mai Temple abbot with machete. Get vaccinated, get a side of fries free at Thai McDonald's. And more about vaccinations for expats. I'm Kieran Mack and you're listening to the Thai Expat Daily Show. Now the first story we have today from Coconuts Bangkok is Briton accused of going after Chiang Mai Temple abbot with a machete. What an interesting story to start the day off with. A British man was arrested yesterday after he allegedly threatened a Chiang Mai Temple abbot with a machete. Clive George Davidson has been charged with a number of crimes after police said he menaced Abbot Pra Kajongsak of Wat E Rantawan in the northern city outskirts. Police said that Davidson was caught on camera exiting his vehicle Sunday with a machete and approaching the monk, who escaped into the temple and locked the door before calling the police. Major Yang Yot of Hangdong District Police said that they did not know the motivation behind the apparent attempted attack, adding that the 50-year-old Briton had not confessed. He said officers found a small amount of marijuana in Davidson's car as well. Davidson admitted to being the man in the video, according to a Thairat report, saying that he was just wanting to talk to the abbot. And here now we can have a quick look at him. I guess this is the pointing. And there is him with the machete in his hand. I mean, let's be honest, the evidence is pretty damning. A tip led to a rented house in Hangdong where police said Davidson locked himself inside and began frantically shouting in English. After 4 hours, officers left to seek an arrest warrant. Police said that prior to the alleged incident, he had caused a disturbance at a neighbour's home before heading to the temple. The police said that Davidson's visa had expired. He has been charged with possession and use of an illicit substance, trespassing, criminal mischief, and overstaying his visa. So that's the story today from Coconuts Bangkok. It's very interesting and really very strange because there seems to be no motivation for this other than maybe perhaps he was high as a kite. I don't know. I'm sure hopefully we'll hear more about this story in the next week or so, and we'll definitely update you on it if we hear anything. Now another story, get vaccinated, get a side of fries free at Thai McDonald's. McDonald's and several other restaurant chains are jumping on the Perks for Jabs bandwagon with free food for Thailand's vaccinated. As doses begin to reach the public through small public and back-channel testing sites in the run-up to wider distribution, the fast food giant said it would give away normal-sized French fries to 50,000 people starting today. All they have to do is present some form of evidence that they've received at least their first vaccine shot at any store or drive-through location nationwide. Branches at airports are excluded. I wonder why. Freebies are coming to the Golden Arches as well as other chains owned by Zen Group, Zen, Aka, Dins, On the Table, Kiang, and Tumor. Tomorrow, through June 30th, customers can get a free salad, soup, dim sum, takoyaki, or rice dish, depending on the restaurant, with their order and evidence of vaccination. So far, Thailand has vaccinated more than 2.2 million people, 1.5 million of which have had their first dose. Mass vaccinations will begin in June when royally owned Siam Bioscience is expected to roll out its first 6 million locally produced AstraZeneca doses. People are likely in store for a bounty of perks as the business world promotes vaccinations as a way to return to normal and profitability. Last week, national chain Class Cafe announced a similar promotion. So there you have it. I guess if you're vaccinated and one of the lucky ones, you can go and get some free French fries or discounts. I saw another restaurant in Phuket that was advertising a 10% discount on food and beverage if you were vaccinated. I'm kind of sitting on the fence on this one. I don't really agree with it, but I don't really disagree with it either. But I think, with not so many people being vaccinated, I think it's probably not that fair really either. So what do you think? Do you think this is a good idea? Do you think it's just a stunt by these guys? I'd love to hear your opinion down below. Now, just two more quick stories left for today. Just to update on yesterday with the closure of Phuket and only being able to enter the island if you have a COVID-19 vaccination certificate or you have a COVID-19 PCR test or rapid antigen test. You can enter the island for a day trip. So if you're going for a day, you can go on off. There's no problem there. But if you're staying any longer, you have to quarantine or self-quarantine for the time that you'll be in Phuket. You'll be issued with a document, and it'll be a legal document. So if you do break the quarantine, you will be able to get in trouble. Or you will get in trouble. So there is that possibility, and people will obviously be keeping an eye on you. And finally, if you can bring up stories about vaccinations in Thailand, it would, you could go slightly crazy because of the mixed messaging that continues to go on. Now today, the National News Bureau of Thailand, which is a government organization, has briefly announced at the bottom they're in the process of setting up a registration system for foreigners, and it should be ready maybe by August. Now, for me, when I read that, 2 weeks ago it was mentioned that they're in the process of doing all this. So they're saying it's going to take 3 months to make a registration system for 3 million people. That's absolutely ludicrous. And it proves the point that the policy of the Thai government is Thais first and everyone else is after that. There is no other way to look at it. And when we are in a pandemic like we are at the moment, everybody should be getting a vaccination, regardless of the color of your skin, your nationality, where you come from, your citizenship, whatever. Everyone should be getting a vaccine. And it shouldn't be based on the country of origin. It should be based on your category. Whether you're a person over 60 years of age with pre-existing conditions, whether you're 50 plus, and if you're in the group 18 to 59, it can't be that hard to incorporate a passport number into their current app that they've made. It just can't be that hard to do, and certainly would never take 3 months. So I think, as a guy on Twitter just mentioned, I think the policy from the Thai government is very clear that we're not going to be getting vaccines for a very long time, and that if you do require one, you can pay for it yourself, but don't be expecting the Thai government to look after you. Whether or not you're on a retirement visa, you're an expat working here and paying taxes, as far as I'm concerned, I'm done with the bullshit that I hear every day from these guys. I just simply don't believe it anymore. So we're going to leave it at that. I'm not going to bring up vaccines again unless there's a major development where they actually roll out the actual app and they say, there you go, and then I see foreigners getting injected. Because until I see somebody with a needle in them, I don't believe they will ever do anything for us. But nevertheless, that's it. We'll draw a line in the sand when it comes to it, and we're going to move on. Thanks for tuning in today. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to leave us a 5-star rating. We are available on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever you like to listen to your podcasts. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you tomorrow.